Yeah, just wired up a signal for the yard, which is a standard bulb, not an LED type, Fleischmann. And basically it's set up so when I throw the point to the table, hang on, bear with me, there we go, when I throw the point to the turntable, it will automatically throw a green for the entrance of the turntable. And that just sets up dead easy. You've got your 3 wires that come from your point, and they go to a decoder. Yeah, you got your 3 wires which come from a point motor, red, green and black. That's how I colour identified them from the existing wires where I've joined on. And they basically go straight into one of your ports on the ESC accessory decoder here. And basically your red, green and earth from your light signal just join together with the point motor on the same port, and you basically just swap the wires accordingly until you synchronise the lights and the blades of the point. It's dead easy to do on the Fleischmann. But to do it, to supply permanent power feed to the light bulbs, you've got to switch it over to K84 mode, otherwise the light signal will not light up. And that's using LEDs, conventional bulbs on the actual light signal. Not sure about LEDs, not trying it, because I've got a lot of conventional light signals on the layout, Fleischmann, so that's how I've done it. Wiring is very messy here, I've got to tidy it all up. Turntable's there, and the turntable reverse module is just there, working nicely. Yeah, I just thought I'd show one in the past before, Fleischmann 6410 self-tapered specially designed screws for the tracks. Screwing them down, highly recommend these. They never come out, and you can screw them to a correct tension. The track, it's rock solid once these are in, the track's never going to move or flex around. Come in a box, 144 plus, something like that. Very expensive, about £10 a box, but they go a long way. So yeah, highly recommend them for flexible track, etc. like that, because obviously the track's not going to budge once you put them in. Self-tapered screws. Yeah, the other part of the yard I'm working on is the open area, so I've extended it a bit, and this is just done out of balsa wood. Just cut it to shape. Balsa wood, it's about probably 3 or 4 mils thick. Easy to cut, easy to break. So yeah, you just glue that down and then score in. There's a way I do it, and you eventually get a nice concrete effect. Looks alright, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring that across, expand that yard where the container crane is. Yeah, so just got me fit that in there. So it's going to cover that gap and make it nice and tidy looking. So it's just a matter of copy dexing. You've got to work pretty quick with this stuff, because it does go off quite quick. That's what I use for balsa wood. Copy dex it, put a couple of weights on it after, and just slot that into position. There. Ready for the next piece, which is this one. Lock that and cover everything up. Meet the old layout into the new layout piece. Yeah, so a bit of copy next. Don't want to put too much near the edges, because when it squeezes out it dries rubbery. So if you try to paint it, it can be awkward. There we go, just it's more than enough to hold it in position. Okay, just turn it around. Child's play, like jigsaw. Yeah, so this is the first stage. The next stage will be painting it with a base coat, and which is a matte emulsion. That's what I use. Nothing special. Test it out of a tester pot, and then score the lines into it to probably match something going across with the continuation of the other squares, which are there. I'll just bring them across and then paint it again, applying the sand onto the paint before the paint dries. Or you can do that on the first coat as well, but I'll probably do that on the second coat. Second coat, before the paint dries, sprinkle a fine sand on through a sieve, and then you can give it a third coat and then score the lines again. But you need a sharp tool to do that, like a decent Stanley blade, something like that. Basically just getting a straight edge, copying the rest of the concrete squared area, which looks like that, and run a blade down it, keeping with the same lines. Score it 3 or 4 times, don't have to be perfect. You know, there's breaks in the actual area like that, it looks more realistic. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm bringing it out to the edge of the turntable area. Right, this is the next stage for the concrete effect. And to do it, you just need a choice of emulsion paint. This is chalky flat matte. I don't know if it's still available at Wickes, but I like this colour. I use it on all my platforms and that. When I bought it, I overbought. Bought about 4 or 5 tubs of it, so I've got some for the future. A sieve, kitchen sieve, and my wife knows I've got this, she'll go nuts, especially when I'm sieving stuff for my model railway. Like a fine woodland scenics, gravelly type sort of sand, that will go through the sieve, and that's it. I'll just get my paint out. I'll do a small section. This corner here. So basically, it's just a case of just doing paint up. Paint it on. Probably got a little bit more filling to do on this as well, actually. Paint it on, and that's it. Scored all the lines, stuck it all down and scored all the expansion gaps in, so we'll go over them again after to open them up.
Hi Dad.
Alright, I'm just doing a YouTube video just showing how to do this effects on the concrete flooring, how to do it. Sorry, getting interrupted here, but
Sorry.
no problem.
Sorry, what are you doing?
You've seen how I do this before, haven't you?
Oh, with the sand thing?
Yeah, the concrete effects.
What are you doing? I actually saw you actually do it.
Well,
Is there sand underneath it?
No, you put the paint on, which I'm explaining now in the video, and you put it on before the paint dries. You get the kitchen sieve.
Would you spray oil over it?
If you just watch, yeah, you can see. Right, you get the kitchen sieve like that, But don't tell Mum that I've got this.
Why?
Because I shouldn't be using it in the attic. Sorry about this and getting interrupted by...
Hello. I'm asking important questions for the interview of how to make it.
Anyway. So yeah, so before that paint dries, we sprinkle it through. We sieve it through there, you see. When it lands on the paint, it sticks on it. Like that, so... and then what happens is, it gives it a sort of textured finish, like a concrete-y rock, you know, like a road surface. And then what happens then, you let it dry, and you paint over it again. And then you put the lines with it that I've already done. You score the lines again with a ruler, a steel ruler, and then that gives you the gaps in the concrete, which you'd have in real life.
Is it like this one there? Yeah, like this here.
Yeah, like the rest of the yard, which goes right away around there. And I'm just expanding it into this area here, so we're going to have another big area in the container depot. Make it bigger. And of course.
That's clever.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so the paint's dry. The sand's virtually keyed in. I'll just suck off any loose stuff. And it's just going to coat, another coat over the top. And let it dry and then rescore the lines going in, the expansion gaps. I've already cut them previously, so then it'll look quite realistic then. Yeah, just a case of give it a nice quick second coat. As you can see, it's getting there slowly. That's what I've just done. You've just got to discover where you've scribed the lines in previously. Like on this next one, I can just see a faint line, so I'll just put a marker on that and a marker there, and then when you cut across and line it up with a steel ruler, it channels into the original line that you've cut. Pre-cut, so it gets it near enough. You just watch your fingers when you're doing this. I mean, I'm well used to using knives, but you should really have protective gloves doing this. Using a Stanley blade. That's it. Two or three passes and it channels into the existing one, and then pull it away, and there's your expansion gap. Like I say, it's a pretty primitive way of doing it really, this, but it looks pretty good when it's done. Yeah, I'm cheating here in this area where the turntable is. I don't want to use huge amounts of balsa wood, it's just going to cost too much and it's going to be too much messing. So I've just painted the area in the same colour as the balsa wood area, a concrete effect, and basically I'm just running lines of dye along a steel rule to indicate expansion gaps. To do that I'm using Cure Colour graphic artist pens, which I use at work all the time for various repairs and stuff, and they have two ends. They're refillable. Fantastic pens they are. So I'll just let's have a go with one here. Just trying various different strengths of dye. That one's too weak. Just having a mess around with them really. But just line it up with the existing gaps over there, and then just run a line down. That's it. You take it away, you get a continuation. When the track's on it, you won't really notice much. Put a bit of gravel down there. So just line that up with the existing gap, expansion gap I've scribed across, and that's it. Just line up and run a line down. What's good about these pens is they've got a long nib, narrow nib, so they're good to work with. There we go, that's that one done. You can see the effect continuing across, but at a much cheaper rate. I'm just measuring out equal distances to get uniform squares. I say this is not mega realistic, but it's the cheapest way to get expansion gaps and making it look uniform right across the yard. I mean, the tracks are going to go on this, but it might not look prototypical at all, but I really don't care. It's not a mega realistic layout anyway. Yeah, so there's the area complete now. The big yard has got bigger. The reason I'm doing this like this is because I can adjust and move around the tracks into any formation in the future. Add tracks, take tracks away, whatever. So I've just got the flexibility there. Easily enough do that. I just need to add all the tracks on now. This area I'm sort of doing in a different finish, the coaling yard. So I left that. I'm not adding insulated joiners onto the exits because I don't want the possibility of a train running off a track which isn't connected to the bridge. And also, if I line the bridge up to whatever exit and I have one of these lights on the end, the track LEDs, it'll light up and show which exits lined up and operational. Easy enough from a distance over there. But I am going to put another controller, a second one, somewhere around here. Not sure exactly how that's going to work yet, but that's that bit done, which has took me ages to do because I've been just really busy at work. It's took me probably 6 weeks just to get this far, probably longer actually. So I should have it finished pretty soon.